Yep. What's good? What's happening? How you living? It's your boy, Ricebox 26, with that dude over there, Tornado McCray. And we're back again with another episode of North Carolina Life. We are here to talk to you about the ish and other things that is going on in North Carolina football. Welcome. Sit down. Have your drink. Pop your popcorn. Because there's a lot we got on this docket today. Just to let you know.
Why I feel like you gave this like a Shaq Bill Clinton speech cadence.
Take the ball. I'm going to dunk
Oh Lordy. All right, man. All right, y'all. Y'all know what we doing. Y'all know how we here. He gave the intro, so ain't nothing to say.
it.
And honestly, what? Too loud, too soft? What?
Man, you getting crackles all over the place.
I don't hear
Check
it.
your check. I mean, I don't think no, you don't hear it. Hold on, Cameron, go look at the live.
How about now? How about now?
Okay, get loud real quick.
Hello.
Yeah, no, that's better.
All right. I think it was.
I think it had your webcam mic.
That's what it did. It had my webcam mic.
Okay, yeah, that sounds a lot better. That is exactly where life is supposed to be right now. But continue.
Oh my god. Well, as I was gonna continue my theme before my voice was distorted like a seagull gargling for rocks. That's how bad y'all know. That's how bad y'all know it is, because I can't even give you an analogy, a proper metaphor, or anything of that nature. Wait a minute, who's in the comment section already here? Why is Joel so fuzzy?
Internet.
Inheritance?
No, it's literally internet.
Y'all got a storm out there?
No, I think his Opus is trying to upload at the same time.
That'll
My
do
internet's
it. That'll do it. That will do it.
I don't even mind canceling it because it was only at like 4%.
Might as well. If you got to redo it.
Gosh.
Because I be trying to close out half of my internet stuff until we need it.
I'm gonna end up going by the people and seeing about a new router because I really think that's what the problem is right now.
It's the routes and the routers and the things that make the routers.
It's the roots from the toots.
But y'all, we got a lot on today's docket. We got a lot of things to talk about, and we got a lot of spiels to talk about. According to my co-host, we have a whole bunch and not enough time. But you know what? We're gonna make time for everything because time is money.
Some of the stuff I put on there is relatively short, but you know, we don't adhere to short time.
Side note: get y'all a co-host who, for some reason, loves to come in at the midnight hour, at the 11th hour. He gonna come through, but is he gonna come through when you want him? No, but he gonna come through when you need him. Like, he gonna come through the 11th hour. As I was building this script, I'm thinking to myself, all right, cool, few things, nothing too crazy. Next thing I know, in the midnight hour, when all was dark and lost in the world, my co-host comes in, bam! 82 different subjects.
I added four things.
82 different subjects, 14 pack mules, and a baggie full of bacon that I still haven't
packed. I added four things. Technically, two of these things can be one thing.
Again,
they're not.
84 pack mules, 14 packs of Tic Tacs, and a baggie full of bacon.
You wish that's what I brought.
I ain't gonna lie. Is it cooked? Like, is it air fried? Is it like, I'm just saying, bro. Like, is it air fried? Is it skillet made? Is it electric griddle? These are things you got to know.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Like, I love cooking on my electric griddle, bro. Like, I love cooking bacon on my electric griddle, but that's like the least protective for me. I be sitting there having to talk to it, like argue it down. Like, hey, calm down, bro. Calm down.
He said, "I'm gonna need you to chill out."
Like, Grease want to be popping back at me, like, I be like, hey.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I had to use the air fryer function on my microwave earlier today.
Your microwave got an air fryer function?
Sure enough,
When that happened?
it's a fancy microwave. I ain't buy it.
This the same microwave that's in the corner?
Yeah, that black microwave that's over there.
Yeah, it got an air
Yeah,
fryer
same one.
function.
It's an air fryer function. Yes.
You know how many times I've been to your house? I've never known that thing had an air fryer function.
Top row, middle of the road says air fry on it.
Bro, do you know how many times I've been to your house and not known that was a function on your microwave?
Enough. Yeah.
All right, bro. Let's go ahead and get to the doc. First things up, because this man gonna have me confused. Next thing you know, he gonna tell me the back closet in his house is like the gateway to his attic that I've never known he's had.
Nah, that's in the hallway. You know that square at the top of the hallway in the roof? That's the gateway to the attic.
We're gonna fight Labor Day weekend, just know that. But anywho.
Now we fighting Labor Day weekend.
We fighting Labor Day weekend. Grab your popcorn. First things up, y'all. So the statistical, and I always say this with disdain, statistical quarterback GOAT in the NFL has some things to tell us about Big Bill Belichick himself and what these players can expect going into playing for UNC, because I thought this was kind of interesting. It came up on my TL and I had to save it, bro. Because I was like, nah, got to see this. Got to see this. You know what I mean? So,
because I saw it come across my IG earlier today. I think it was either IG or TikTok, one of the two.
Yeah. So here's what he had to say. Ready?
Yeah.
It's now in college football.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick at North Carolina. I'm as interested as any.
Yeah.
You would be the first one I would come to and say, like, what are those players in for?
I'm very interested too as well. What they're going to get is obviously the most prepared, the most hardworking coach that I'd ever been around. If you go to that school, you will be prepared to play at the next level. He's going to teach you the right fundamentals, the right techniques. He's going to have a high expectation for you, and you're going to develop a lot. That's what I know.
Your old coach is now in college football.
Yeah.
All right. So Brady says going to UNC is going to have you prepared to play at the next level. He's going to hold you to a high standard, and he's going to develop you a lot. What are your thoughts on that, my boy?
I agree. That's been the biggest question mark all off, like basically this whole offseason, this whole spring. That's been the biggest question. What exactly can Bill bring to UNC that we think that they're needing the most? And honestly, knowing his track record and how we've talked about him before, like, Bill Belichick is going to get you prepared for that next level. It is what it is. Like, no matter how you try to cut it or try to slice it, by the time you leave North Carolina, you will be at least business-mindedly prepared for the next level. Or at least you know how to conduct yourself when it comes down to being a professional athlete at that point.
So I'm going to say this, and I think this is going to be an interesting aspect of it. Bill Belichick, yes, will have you prepared for the next level, but I'm sitting here and I'm going to play devil's advocate. Is Bill Belichick preparing you for what the next level would be for old school football? And what I mean by that is, okay, we're running, current day, a lot more teams are adapting a college offense, a college style offense in the pros. Whereas back then, early 2000s, late 90s, 80s, and so forth, it was a pro style offense. And Bill Belichick, we know he is a pro style. Yeah, he has shotgun and things like that, but he's still old school in terms of the offense he's run. I don't ever recall him pulling a RPO in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't in his playbook in any case, shape, or form. So when you say he's going to develop you and make you ready for the next level, are those players even going to be wanted at the next level? Is what he's developing the players into going to be the landscape of the NFL and offensive landscape going forward? Because you could make the argument of, oh, the Bills just going to have them prepared for two things because they'll already know the college game. They'll already know the RPO type style, and then they'll also be prepared in case they decide to go the pro style. But in my mind, I'm like, if you're a true freshman and you go in, for example, class of 2026, you go, especially as a quarterback, you play for Bill. You play under this pro style for 4 years straight. Then you get to the NFL, and the team you're playing for, the coordinator you're playing for, has been running a college offense, RPO spread offense the whole time. You're not built for that success. You're not built for that system because you haven't run that system at minimum 4 years ago. And if you were in high school running a pro system, you haven't run that for years. So there's the devil's advocate of how is Bill preparing you for success, preparing you for the next level. Now, media-wise, 1,000%. Bill will have you prepare. I'll give you that. Media-wise, you will be NFL trained to how to handle media once you get to the NFL. Like there's nothing that you probably won't see, hear, touch, smell that you hadn't been thrown at that Bill's not going to grill you on. You'll know how to conduct yourself in the media interviews. You know what to say at a press conference. You know how to keep in-house problems. And and I'll also say this, you know how to study film. You ain't gonna go play for Bill Belichick and not study film and not know how to study film and break down film and things of that nature.
Right, because I say this because I think the concern offensively is legitimate, but I think this is kind of like a different, but this is kind of a different kind of Bill that we've seen since the NFL. Like we've seen that he's been more open, he's been more willing to have certain interviews about certain things, he's more willing to talk about certain things. I think when it comes to like offensive preparedness for the NFL, I don't think that's going to be much of a problem because at the end of the day, that's Freddie Kitchens' job. If Freddie Kitchens can't get you prepared for the offense from the college level to the NFL level, then Freddie Kitchens is screwed up. Because Bill's going to have you prepared on the defensive end, going from college to NFL. And I know normally that we've seen that he's always ran a pro style offense for most of his career, and he's never done like an RPO type situation. But then again, he's also never had a mobile enough quarterback to run an RPO, or at least not run it well.
I'll give Brissett. I say Brissett was.
He had Brissett for all of one season, and Brissett was like the third string quarterback.
But I'm still saying he could have done it with Brissett. And I'll say this: he did have Tebow for a little bit, and Cam Newton.
Yeah, he had both of them. But the bad thing is for both of them, neither one of them were starting quarterbacks. Like Cam was for a little bit, but he wasn't for long enough because he ended up getting injured. So they ended up putting Drake May in over him. It was Drake May, right? What was the Alabama quarterback? It was Drake May? No, the Alabama quarterback. Whose name we forgot forget.
I think it was Mac.
Yeah, Mac. So he put in Mac because Cam got hurt. And yeah, Mac was a little mobile, but he wasn't mobile enough for you to say this is officially
Mac wasn't. I'm not even saying Mac was up mobile. Like, I'm not going to tell that lie.
and even with Jacoby being a mobile enough quarterback, Jacoby was also a pocket passer. He ain't like to run if he ain't have to.
I mean,
Cam Newton, you could have pulled it with because we know Cam Newton to be a running quarterback.
I mean,
Cam Newton was a switch hitting quarterback. Jacoby Brissett is known to be a pocket passer. He's good at scrambling when he needs to. It's like he's basically what Donovan McNabb was to the Eagles. Like Donovan wasn't a running quarterback, but he was a good scrambling quarterback when he needed to scramble.
Donovan McNabb was just mobile enough.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's
Like
mobile enough to be like
Donovan.
run the ball if
I
he
wouldn't
needs
even
to.
consider him a scrambler. Donovan was slow Vic. If Vic
Well, no,
couldn't
no,
run
I'm not
and
calling him
only
a scrambler.
pass,
I'm not calling him a scrambler. I'm saying he was good enough at scramble. He was quick enough that if he needed to scramble, he was good at scrambling.
I got you.
But but it wasn't his first thing ever. Because people can say the same thing about Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham also was a pocket passing quarterback who was athletic enough to really put a hurt on you. Like he didn't want to run, but if he had to, he was definitely going to. So now I think with the situation of now with Drake May in New England, had Bill had stayed in New England for another year having Drake May, you might have seen a more open, more willingness to do kind of like a read kind of situation because Drake May can move well enough to make a read option work.
I don't know if he would have done it. I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have done it.
I don't think he would have established it. I think he would have been more willing to if the situation called for it. But yeah, no, like he's not going to have a full out read. He's might going to have 3 or 4 plays where he does a read, and that's about it. And you may see them once every 6 weeks.
Like Bill's the type of guy who Bill's the type of guy who when Philly had the Wildcat in 2009 and then everybody incorporated a Wildcat in 2010, Bill didn't want to incorporate a Wildcat till like 2015. He's like, maybe we could do it.
He's like, we might do this. Like Bill, if he stayed in NFL, you'd see him run a read anything in those situations where you were expecting him to do something else. In those real wild, it's the last 3 minutes of a game. You know what? We're already winning. Let's try something real quick. You may see it that one time, and you'll never see it again the rest of the season. I mean, now everybody's like, oh snap! Does he have read plays? Like, should we be watching out for that?
It's funny that you say that because remember that Super Bowl they lost to the Eagles. They did that was when they ran the quarterback pass to Brady, and Brady dropped it. And I ain't gonna front. All of us, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, myself included. When I saw Brady leak out for the pass, I said, "Oh wow, New England pulled." I said New England pulled that
running anything.
Y'all had Brady
running any distance. It's crazy.
It's the fact that Brady ran a route and was the actual intended target. This wasn't he just happened to be open. No, he is the receiver we're throwing to.
That's why he was open because nobody's gonna think Tom Brady's catching a pass. Are you serious?
I sat there looking at it. I was like, well, if there's ever a time you're gonna pull out a wild play like that,
listen, it was gonna be one of the slowest touchdowns you had ever seen.
Hey, the Super Bowl is the time to pull out a play like that because there was no way in God's green earth, and then Brady just had to go in.
And from what I heard, I think they're incorporating more shotgun and more pistol in this offense. So you're probably gonna see a lot more read, and that particular thought process runs into something else we're gonna talk about a little bit later.
That has to be Freddie Kitchens because Belichick calling a pistol offense just don't even sound right.
Like I said, and I think at the end of the day, it's like this is up to Freddie Kitchens. This is up to the offense coordinator. Like Bill's probably overseeing it. It's like, okay, I don't really like this play selection, but overall,
Bill don't even like the formation.
Being in landscape. With it being a whole new landscape for Bill with college football, I think he's waiting. I think he's going to let somebody who's been here just a little bit longer just start running some reins until he gets more of a feel. And then you're going to probably see him start tightening up when it comes down to like who's making calls and who's doing this and who's doing that.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I can agree that at least when it comes down to preparation, you're going to be prepared. They're going to be prepared.
You're going to be prepared, but does your offensive play style is what you're prepared under going to translate based off the time of the NFL? That's the only biggest thing.
I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue as we have seen it in previous years for some players, because I think the way that Bill teaches his players to prepare and instills a certain kind of work ethic in them, I think really whatever situation they go into, they should have at least a decent chance of being able to adjust to whatever situation they get put into based off of the preparation they've been prepared, like they've been taught how to do, and the work ethic they've been taught how to have. So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
So yeah, we'll see on that. So unfortunately, there's also been some bad news at training camp. Offensive lineman Austin Blask is going to be out for about 2 months. Yeah, I said he had a non-contact football injury, or basically they said if he broke his foot, is what they say he did. Yeah, said he broke his foot over the weekend at training camp. They're still trying to they're still doing some evaluation on it, so they'll know for sure of the extent here soon enough. But the downside was with him being gone, he already had the reputation of being the most versatile lineman that we got, period. Like he's done work at center, guard, and tackle since Bill Belichick's got there. Started last season at center, over 780 snaps, no sacks allowed, and only 5 pressures. So he had the lowest pressure rate among any lineman at UNC, sorry, and had the second highest pass blocking grade behind all ACC right guard Willie Lampkin. So that's a big hit coming from this offensive line, especially when it's made of, when at least half of your line is going to be made of transfers or new guys that just came in, because they brought back the left guard and left tackle. So they at least had the left side of the line set up. But right now he was set up at right guard and left guard next to Christo Kelly, the transfer from Holy Cross, because Christo Kelly was set up at center.
Yeah, he was.
But they did say it opens up for a couple of transfers that did come in with Daniel King and Chad Lindbergh. So they get a couple of chances to see how well they gel with this offense for the next 2 months. Because they said he should be back in time for the first ACC game against Clemson in October. Hopefully he'll be back sooner than that, but time will tell.
Non-football, non-contact injury, you break your foot. That
broke his foot.
I'm sorry. That screams. So this confirmed a broken foot?
That's what they're saying right now. They're still kind of evaluating it, but they're very confident that it's a broken foot. Very confident he broke his foot.
How you break your foot with no contact? Unless you just came down on it wrong.
I mean, could have came down on it wrong. Somebody could have stepped on it. Could have bumped it against something during the drill.
But I'm saying it ain't nobody who stepped on it because they say it's non-contact. So I'm trying to figure out what drill could he have been doing to where he breaks it, and especially the O-line.
Could have been the shuttles. Could have been a blocking drill. Just came in to probably going around cones or something. Planted wrong, twisted it. Lord knows.
Because you know me, if non-contact injury, especially on the leg, I'm automatically assuming it's a tendon tear. So it's like a muscle's ripped in some form or fashion. It's not a bone. It's a muscle, a tendon, something of that nature. It's like an ACL, PCL, MCL, Achilles tear, calf tear, like so on and so forth. That's what I'm thinking when it's non-contact. If it's a contact injury, I'm okay. Contact injury, dislocated ankle, broken foot, broken tibia, broken fibula, like dislocated kneecap. I know I'm going off on a list of things, but that's what I think of with a contact
all that
injury.
makes sense. And like I said, it could have been something like he could have landed wrong, could have been going down some steps.
Don't let it be one of them situations where he jumped celebrating for something. Kind of like the one soccer player who jumped doing the Ronaldo celebration,
and or the
kicker who did it. The kicker who did it,
towards
he
ACL.
jumped in and tore his ACL doing the Ronaldo celebration. I'm like, bruh. You, sir, should never be celebrating ever again. Like, you have no right to celebrate ever again. Because that to me just come on, dog.
Listen, anytime I'm with you, because anytime I see non-contact, I'm like, oh, look, what ligament done tore?
What, bro? I'm saying, and if you like me, I always had a rule going to the doctor if I felt like I was injured or hurt. I used to tell doctors as soon as they came back here, and I say, listen, if it's a 3-letter abbreviation, don't tell me. Let me cry in silence. Like,
Let me cry in silence.
like, bro, especially if it was my legs. If I went to the doctor for a leg injury, especially around my knee, I've told the doctor multiple times, hey, if it's a 3-letter injury, if it's abbreviated with 3 letters, don't tell me right now. Just let me cry in silence and let me get prepared because I got to be mentally prepared for this.
Just go ahead and schedule my surgery.
Right. Just go ahead and schedule it. I don't want to hear it.
Like, get back to where I need to be doing. Right now, ain't it?
Hey, I'm immediately sitting there thinking, oh, Lord, this is about to be the Booby Miles treatment. I'm thinking I only got a sprain. They about to tell me you tore it, bro. It's gone.
It's torn. Right?
That was always my
he's like, son, do you know you have no cartilage on that kneecap? What you mean? You have none. But how'd that happen? You tell me.
DeJuan Blair? DeJuan Blair?
You tell me how that happened.
Hey, listen.
This amount of wear and tear on a cartilage at 17 years old is wild.
I used to think that, bro. Like on some real, I used to sit there and be paranoid about the wear and tear I put on my body as a high school athlete.
Listen, bro.
And I used to be sitting there like, bro, how much wear and tear have I actually done? Like, is my body aging quicker because I'm out here doing these 2-a-days, doing these practices, doing these shuttles? Like,
what? You used to wake up thinking like, man, I'm gonna be old at 29.
Bro, hey, listen, full on arthritis, like shriveled up arthritis by 32. Like I ain't gonna be able to move at all.
I ain't be able to lift nothing. Like one hand's gonna be super weak because the joints just don't work.
And you know what escalated? You know what escalated that thought process for me? When I was 17, my junior year of high school, my entire junior year, I just went through a phase of having serious back spasms like every other week. Like every other week, I would just have like back spasms throughout that week or whatever the case may be. And my mom would help me alleviate it. But it just got to the point throughout the year, she just knew when I'd have a back spasm and whatnot. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, bro, I ain't going to be able to use my back by 26. I broke my back spinal. like I was so afraid. It's like bro, it's just straight spinal. It's like vertebrae, spinal. Worst
Pump all that.
Hey, and then it was crazy. Ever. And then by senior year, all of a sudden they just went away. I'm like, bro, what the? So we just gonna put me through hell for a year? All right.
That's it. Just for a year. All right, football God said you've had enough.
Sit down
and set you free. Next up, we talking about position battles.
No.
One shall win, several shall fall.
Who shall be the victor? And who shall stand tall? Just in time for the movie Him. All right, man. So we got this QB battle you talking about. USA Today. Yep. What they talking?
So what they talking about is right now, for the first time in a while, North Carolina has a legitimate running back battle going on. So the battle itself, starting off from the most possible starter to the least possible starter, in my opinion. You got Davion Goss, who played a couple of games last year, had 16 carries for 105 yards and a touchdown in week 2 against Charlotte, 1 touchdown against North Carolina Central, and scored both of the touchdowns against Boston College on November 23rd last season. So overall, they're saying right now he's the current front runner and the current top back on the roster right now. And because last year he showed that one, especially when Amarion Hampton went down a couple of times, or showed that he just needed they needed somebody else while Marion was getting his breath and so on. Showed that he can definitely carry a load if he needed to. Showed that he had some flashes of being the potential starter for sure. Behind him, you got two returning players with Caleb Hood and Charleston French. Charleston French being the redshirt sophomore. Caleb Hood, I think at one point was in the transfer portal, but took his name out not too long after he put his name in it. Then you got Demond June. Then you got freshman Demond June and transfer Benjamin Hall coming in from Michigan. So the real big battle that I would say right now is going to be between Goss, Benjamin Hall, Caleb Hood, and Charleston French. Like I think Demond June just has the most amount.
So basically, the entire running back room,
essentially, because you never know. But I think the two biggest battles right now is between Goss and Hood. Really,
I am going to say
don't know much about. So
I'm going to say Davion is honestly. I think Davion's going to be the clear number one. I say the battle is between Hall and I would say Hood for that number 2 slot for the backup. So basically, if Davion isn't a every down back, who's going to be that third down back, or who's going to be that what is it, that pass protection back? I would say that passing back, because I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head how comfortable Davion was in the passing game, because I do know he came on late last year. And so 16 carries, like you said, 16 carries for 105 yards and 1 TD in week 2 versus Charlotte. And then he had a TD against North Carolina Central and then scored both TDs against Boston College. So I think Davion's going to be the clear number 1. The number 2 slot is going to be between Hall and Hood. And then quiet as it's kept, I believe French or Demond June may transfer depending on how the year plays out. They may transfer by next year. I would hope they don't. I hope they stay the course and see the fruits of their labor.
Demond was the most recent freshman they just came in. So he's just so we'll see.
I know, and I just don't want him to be like, man, I'm never gonna get no PT here and dip. You know what I mean?
I don't think we'll get that. Well, I think if nothing else, he may end up getting redshirted, if nothing else. But if we do see him hit the field this season, he'll probably get a lot of special teams, a lot of returning opportunities, probably. So we'll just see how it turns out.
That's actually what I wish a lot more teams would do. In the sense of, all right, you got a running back here who's also could be good on like punt or kick return. Go ahead, throw them in the back. Go ahead, throw them back there if you know they're gonna be good on kick return. Because that's usually what we used to always do on
kick return.
That's usually what we used to always do for NCAA when we did our dynasties together. We would take like our fastest like 4th string receiver and 4th string running back, throw them in the back and kick return, be like, yo, go have some fun. But then again, if you don't want to waste a year, if you can redshirt them, I get it too.
Because with redshirting him, all that's going to do is just extend how long he's going to be there. So we'll see how it works. And then USA Today wanted to go ahead and put their hand into the cookie jar.
Good morning, USA.
So they're predicting who's going to win this quarterback battle who's going to be the starter come week 1, right? So, the battle itself between Gio Lopez, Max Johnson, and Bryce Baker. So with Bryce Baker, with him being the freshman top, like one of the top recruits coming out of North Carolina high schools, there's a lot of expectation when it comes down to
Mm-hmm. Wait, did you just cut out?
My mic did for a second.
Oh, no.
But no, it's all good. But yeah, because I think I hit a cable. And it's like, oh, your mic got unplugged. It did.
Well, you sound very echoey right now. I think it's hooked up to your camera like mine was.
It was
There it is.
exactly where it was. So, but basically, there's a lot of expectation for Bryce Baker. There's not really as high expectation when it comes down to this particular starting job, just because he's got some pretty stiff competition between Max and Gio. So a lot of expectation for him is going to be coming in for the 26-27 season to see where that competition is going to lead him.
Look who's arrived.
Oh,
it has been a good minute.
Where you been?
You've been ducking and dodging. You've been ducking and dodging.
Been jucking and jiving.
That man has been hidden in the realm.
That man's been ghost. That man's been ghost watching in the back.
Mm-hmm.
He's been sitting in the back room, just sipping tea, just watching. I'm gonna say hey to him at one point in the future. Watch, but now, so they're saying with right now, their prediction is that Gio is going to be the starting quarterback come 2025 starting season. Come week 1, Texas Ohio State should be prime time. It won't be.
It shouldn't be. Texas doesn't deserve it. Texas don't. I'll give Ohio State deserves prime time slot just because y'all won the championship. Texas don't deserve to be there. I'll stand on that. I'll stand 20 toes on that one.
I'll admit I don't like Texas or Ohio State, but I'm not doubling down with that one.
What, that Texas shouldn't be prime time? I'll stand on it. Listen, you don't like Texas. I hate Texas.
Listen,
there's a difference here. I will stand on that.
The only reason why I'm saying it, because I'll admit, most of the season, at least most of these Texas games were entertaining to watch. Even more entertaining when they lost.
I hate Texas. I don't want to give them any praise.
Because I love to watch Texas lose on the national television all the time.
I'll say, didn't we just take a receiver from y'all?
Shut up, Steve. Get out of here.
No. Weren't we waiting on Steve? Because we were waiting on him when we got him. Like Steve.
Well, because we told him about them being real wusses about their games not starting earlier in the day.
Nah, because you remember just a couple weeks ago that one Ohio State player flipped and committed to UNC. And when we were sitting there talking about it, he wasn't here.
He sure enough wasn't here.
He was not here. And we were like, oh, where is Steve when we need him?
I can tell you, I bet you, and the funny thing is, I bet you he was here and just sitting in the back and just refused to comment because he knew as soon as it came up, he was gonna say something to him.
He was like, nah, I'm just gonna sit.
He knew we knew he was gonna come for him as soon as he said he was. Hey, look. He was. He was here.
Like
Steve
knew,
bro. I told you he was in the back just watching and knew as soon as he said something, he was gonna be on his neck.
As soon as they lost that player, he said, "Oh, I gotta stay quiet. I gotta stay quiet today."
I'm gonna shut up real quick. I thought I was gonna come in here talking, but let me shut up real quick.
I'm saying,
so USA Today predicting that Gio Lopez is going to be the starting quarterback for 2025. Now, they did credit Max's SEC experience. Appreciate you, boy. Appreciate you. Boy. Glad to have you, man. But yeah, so they did credit Max Johnson's experience when he was in the SEC, because as of right now, because he was out all of 2024 with that broken leg pretty much, but season opener went 12-19 for 71 yards and an interception against Minnesota. But when he was in A&M and LSU over those years at those two schools, he did throw for 5,800 yards and 47 touchdowns. So he put up numbers in the SEC. On the flip side,
I'll say a little under about 2,900 each year. So that's not bad.
About 2,900 a year. So, and on the flip side, you got Gio Lopez, who has the one full season at quarterback. But he did go 206 for 312 for 2,500 yards or 2560, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions while he was a full-time starter at South Alabama. Some people may say the real question is because coming from South Alabama to an ACC school, competition level is different. But I think if you can play quarterback and you can play quarterback well, it don't matter what level of competition you at.
Shador and Travis Hunter were playing at Jackson State, and they came out and balled out at Colorado to the point where Travis Hunter won the Heisman.
So that it don't matter. If you can play, you can play. It don't make much difference. Now they did go and say that Paul Meyerberg exclaims that Johnson has multiple years of starting experience in the SEC, has to count for something, but Lopez brings a different dimension to the offense as a runner, making him the smarter long-term choice for a team that has the talent to contend for a top 4 finish in the ACC. Which I don't disagree.
I don't like that statement. I don't like that statement. And you want to know why? Because it's an obvious implication statement. Saying Lopez is the smarter long-term choice. Yes, Mac Johnson's a senior. You got to of course Lopez is the smarter long-term choice. Like, what are we talking about here? Now, do I agree Lopez brings a different dimension? If you want a more mobile quarterback, yeah, I can agree with that 100%. But to implicate and just be like, well, he's the smarter long-term choice. Of course. Max is in his final year. You're not getting another year out of Max. There's nothing else you can get out of him. No disrespect to Max. And to me, I wish that statement would have read differently at the end. First half of the statement, I can't knock it. It makes perfect sense. Makes absolutely perfect sense. But to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, well, he's the smarter long-term choice. If you're going to say that, honestly, I can make the argument for Bryce Baker as the smartest long-term choice because you can get 4 full years out of him.
I think you're looking at it the wrong way.
I don't think I'm looking at it the wrong way. I'm looking at it at the perspective that I'm looking at. That doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. It's just a perspective I'm seeing.
Well, no. I'm not saying the way that you're looking at it is wrong. I'm saying when I say looking at it the wrong way, I think you're looking at it at too big of a spectrum. I think it's more just focused on long term for the season. So that's what I think they were talking about when it comes down to long term for the season. Because if you have Max, who just came off a broken leg, who isn't as mobile as Lopez, so there's always a potential of him getting hit, re-injuring himself more. It's just a higher chance of him re-injuring himself compared to Lopez, who's able to escape injury a little bit better. Is what I'm thinking. But
I can see where you're going with that. The only reason why I think I'm looking at it, I think the way I was looking at it also isn't wrong, is because he's saying talent to contend for a top 4 finish in the ACC. Let's be real. Outside of us in the fandom, nobody's expecting us to be top 4 in the ACC. Outside of us here in the fandom, and the occasional just off the wall, Mr. old man McGucket that just places a random bet every so blue moon. Nobody's expecting us to finish top 4 in the ACC. So when you say finish top 4 in the ACC, I'm sitting here thinking you're looking at, all right, year 2, year 3 from now, under Bill. Which is why I go back to my statement of, yes, of course, Lopez will be the smarter long-term choice if that's what you're trying to get to. But even then, I would make the argument of, hey, you could say Bryce Baker, or hey, Travis Burgess when he comes in if you want to make that compliment. But I get what you're saying on that.
Because I think normally when you hear the words long-term, you're thinking over several years. So you normally when you hear he's the long-term solution, you're thinking, okay, this guy is going to be the head, will be the leader of this team for the next at least 3 to 4 years. Is exactly what you normally hear when you hear that statement. I think when it comes down for just the 2025 season, I think when they're saying long-term, it's like, okay, in the long-term scheme of things for this season, Lopez gives you a better shot at contending for a top 4 with the talent that you have compared to Max giving you a shot for a top 4. So I think about that. They're speaking of okay, yeah, Max can win you 3 to 4 games for sure, but Lopez put you in a better opportunity to be a top 5, top 6, or contending for a top 4 finish compared to Max, who can only win you a certain amount of games. That's what I think.
All right.
So no, both perspectives are wrong because I definitely get where you're coming from when it comes down when you hear long-term choices.
Yeah, that was just me. And like I said, the first
So,
half
yeah,
of
no,
the
you're not
statement
wrong.
again. First half of the statement again, 100% factual. Can't deny that. And it was just that last little bit of making him the smarter long-term choice. That use of words to me just rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, yeah, of
I
course,
mean,
because
they're
this is
not.
Max.
It's like, duh. He's like, you got a sophomore versus a senior. Like, duh.
like duh. Like, what do you mean? But yeah, that
Of
was all.
course, he's going to be the long-term solution
The
because
long,
he's
like,
going to
right?
be here.
Unless you got a super senior and Max just starts saying, you know what, I'm gonna just fail class, and then he can't fail class because then he's ineligible to even play.
I said, then he's ineligible.
All right,
So,
so
like, I definitely get that. Because it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, like you could say Bryce is the smarter long term, or Travis Burgess is going to be the smarter long term. You can say that for anybody that's not a senior right now.
that's not a senior. Hey, yo, you're the smarter long term. Yeah, coach, because you get 2 years instead of 1.
It's like, yeah, I got more than 1 year to be here.
To be here. I ain't even gonna be here. Y'all the ones that want to be here. I want to go to the strip club. Man, write this up. I got a bunch of ones. Somebody gonna get.
Good dog, but I agree with them. I still think G.O. is probably going to be the starter come week 1. And basically, some of that's for the same reasoning of like you just get more out of that. You have more opportunity to open your playbook up more with somebody who's able to move around.
My gut says G.O. My gut tells me G.O.
But
my
your
brain
heart
tells
says Max.
My gut tells me G.O. My brain tells me Max if they're not comfortable. Like if they want somebody they know can go into TCU and can like is used to that environment and things like that, can go against a TCU and do what they gotta do. My heart just wants to throw caution to the wind. Hey, yo, throw Bryce out there. Let's see what happens.
Because at the end of the day, like Max's experience is a very big argument to why he should be the starter, especially when it comes down to him playing at A&M and LSU, two of the loudest fandoms in the SEC.
Bro, like you ain't gonna sit there and tell me playing at A&M on a Saturday night or LSU in Death Valley and you're playing Bama in Death Valley, that stadium ain't deafening and you don't know how to play in. Like, you know, there are a few stadiums you could play in that I would trust my court. Like, there are a few stadiums where I'm more than likely going to lean towards my senior than my sophomore or my freshman, just based off of experience alone. Death Valley and LSU, A&M, I'll say Penn State. That's one. I probably would say Florida back in the mid-2000s, the Swamp.
Yeah.
I'll say Florida back in the mid-2000s is a rocky one. That's a hard stadium to play in. And man, who would be my 5th? Florida State. I gotta admit, when Florida State rocking, they rocking. Like when you hear that Tomahawk chant going, you just like, bro, this is annoying. This is annoying. If I hear, oh, like, bro, get it off. Shut it up. Shut it up. Are y'all still on X? I can't get the live over there no more. We building the X, man, because like we got told by the higher ups that nobody was able to stream to the main page, so they're building us our own X page, our own Twitter page for that.
We got an X coming up here soon, and when that comes up, we'll be back streaming on X again. It'll just be on the North Carolina live page specifically. Right. Yeah, we'll post it. We'll post all that up when all of it's
said and good to go. We'll post all that.
Yeah, when it's all up and running, we'll let you know. We got you, Steve.
We got you. And then, man, but speaking of speaking of like all that's been going on, QB battles and everything, I saw a clip. And it was talking about UNC being the biggest mystery in college football. And I saw it on ESPN, bro. And I was like, ooh. I feel like it ties into it. I feel like it ties into what we've been talking about today, and I gotta showcase it. So, and I don't know who this lady is, but
Doug. Okay, here's what you want to do. Save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
Are you a caddy?
No, I'm a Doug, and that's a Limu.
Okay, I'm gonna putt now.
I'm gonna watch you putt.
not gonna lie.
Oh,
Nice birdie.
Whoever
Yes, he is a very nice bird. Oh no, Limu! The cards! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Whoever came up with the idea of Limu Emu.
Heather, I am
Right.
fascinated what we're going to see in Chapel Hill this year. What are your early thoughts on the Bill Belichick debut season for the Tar Heels?
I mean, it's a short.
North
It's weird.
Carolina is the biggest mystery in college football. Even Bill Belichick doesn't know what he has. His players haven't really put on the pads yet, particularly on the offensive and defensive lines. These guys have to go against each other and hit each other. This is an unheralded roster full of transfers, unproven playmakers at different positions all over the field, and an entirely new defense. The biggest thing they have going for them is a manageable schedule. It's winnable. It's about 70th in the country in terms of difficulty. They don't leave the state more than 3 times.
Well,
So you got UNC with 7 wins.
well.
And tell you the truth about that, what's funny about that, Steve? We were just talking last week, like what would be considered a successful season for Bill in his first season. Then we both agreed to what?
We said,
eight
I said, that we said 8 or more. I said 500. You said 8 or more. I said
I think I said
500.
at least above 5. So at minimum above 500. I think 8 would be a flat out yes. This has been a successful season.
Because I think the video we saw, they were saying that UNC like had to win at over 8 games. Hey, Caden the Diesel Freak. What's up, Caden?
As a Ohio State fan, I respect what Bill is doing in North Carolina. He's doing an amazing job. Agreed. Like he's like, I didn't think my biggest thing is I didn't think recruiting was going to go as well as it did.
Bro, oh my God, his recruiting has been through the roof. Because speaking of, they just released his the rankings, the latest rankings in terms of recruiting classes. The 26 class now has him ranked 16th in the entire nation.
Old school Carolina football is back. I'm hoping so because they're the biggest indicator for me though, Caden, was the fact they're bringing back the grass field. They're bringing grass back to North Carolina.
I mean, you bought the turf. I know you did.
Who, me?
Yeah, you bought it. I know you did. I know you bought that logo off Facebook. You bought that turf logo off Facebook.
With what money?
You bought that with your EMT money.
EMT money, well.
With your EMT money.
Sir, we talked about that logo 2 months ago. I have been working as an EMT for 8 months. I have.
No. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You saved it. You saved up for it. It was only $2.
Listen, the next day, I went back to try to look at it. The next day, gone. That link was no longer there.
Hey,
page is gone. We checked.
I wonder, what if somebody was selling that wasn't supposed to be selling that, and that's why it was gone.
That's why I was good. Said, sir, you're not supposed to be doing this. I bought it fair and square.
But to go off of what she's saying, she said Belichick doesn't know what he has. They got a bunch of unproven playmakers. The only thing they have going for themselves is they have a winnable schedule.
So I'm in a wait and see mode with UNC to keep it a buck. I think Bill's trying to establish the program for his son to take the reins. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that at all. He did that in New England too. Because he did the same. That's the reason why Mayo ended up being the coach for that one season in New England. Still feel like they did that man wrong. Should have gave him at least 2, but whatever. But no, that's not surprising. If his son takes over, that nobody'd be surprised. I don't think he will because I don't think his son's built to be a head coach. But that's just me.
Not when he's sitting there on the sideline like this. Now when he's sitting there doing that on the sideline all the time, bro. But
man makes some faces on the sideline, boy.
I think it's kind of crazy. I think it's kind of crazy how I personally don't believe any other coach would be getting this type of flag. Of it's like, oh, they have a winnable schedule. They do all this because it's Belichick. I feel like people are shooting the over and like, oh yeah, it's winnable. He got all this, even with all these question marks. Because any other coach, if they had that many question marks, brand new defense, haven't practiced much, you're a brand new coach, brand new offense coordinator, brand new defensive coordinator. This is your first time in college football. I don't think your schedule alone would have people looking at you like, yeah, you can win 7 games. You can win 8 games.
You're not catching that much flack. And then on top of that, to say that he doesn't know what he has is a wild statement to me. So you telling me Bill Belichick, the man that made Wes Welker, Julian Edelman Hall of Famers or potential Hall of Famers,
made Danny Woodhead a household name.
Made Danny Woodhead a household name. You telling me that he doesn't understand who he has on his roster? Ain't no way. Ain't no way that man has not observed everybody on his team and at least has some kind of idea of who he has on his roster.
And
now,
what's crazy?
Exactly where he's going to line everybody up at, that I can give him.
You want to know what's even crazy when you think about that and you go down that list of names? And I'm gonna just be this guy. I'm gonna be honest. It's like I look back on the rosters and the greats that Belichick has. Aaron Hernandez, I wasn't paying attention to him at Florida like that. Rob Gronkowski, I wasn't paying attention to him in college like that. Tom Brady, we all know none of us were paying attention to Tom Brady. It's like, do you got Edelman? You got Wes Welker. You got Danny Woodhead. You have a number of these players. Shoot, even Benjamin Watson I wasn't really paying attention to, but he always knows how to get the most out of a player. The number one guy I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I knew before he got to New England, like I knew about this man, if as no hands down, was Randy Moss. Now, I'm going to be honest. Like, I didn't know about Teddy Bruschi until New England. I didn't know about Ty Law until New England. I didn't know about the McCourty twins until New England. Like, Belichick, I don't know what he does. I don't know who he speaks to. I guess if Tom Brady has same-day delivery with Satan and all that, Belichick probably has FedEx for his powers. He has FedEx with ground air. He got FedEx ground and air in terms of getting the most potential out of these players and getting superstardom out of them. That's Vince Wilfork. My fault. I almost got him and Albert Haynesworth confused. But Vince Wilfork that's another I knew before he got to New England. Yeah. Vince Wilfork.
Oh, Big Vince. Big Vince. Country.
But it's just to say, like, he doesn't know it. I'm sorry, English hard. Brain moving. But it goes into what you were saying.
It's baffling.
He knows what he has. He knows what he can do. He sees potential.
Just because he's not entirely sure about the particular landscape, when it comes to football, the man understands football when he sees football. So, you can't sit here and say this man hasn't observed his team from when they first started doing workouts to now. Hey. Like, sure, he may not know exactly what he's going to get with them full out personality wise just yet because he ain't been around them long enough. But he's going to figure out, like, okay, I notice you do this, and this real well. Let's see where I can put you to exemplify those traits while also cutting down on some of the negatives you got in the background.
Hey, he may not know. He may not know how the optics look being 70 years old with a 20-year-old and how bad it looks. But that man knows how to run a 4-wide scheme with receivers who were 2 stars and 3 stars. growing up. He knows how to get them in their best right mind.
That man knows what a stack fofo looks like.
Oh God. And then speaking of going into this season, man, so the ESPN also ranked all the FBS by tiers. And I thought it was quite interesting. Obviously, we can't go into the entire list or else we'd be here for quite a grip. But some of the key notes and some of the key highlights I saw. So in tier 1A, they said a great matchup for week 1 and or the championship game. Texas and Ohio State. Yeah, Steve, y'all got the shout out. Big whoop-de-doo. Yeah, that's all you get from me. They said tier 1B, which is the rest of the best. Georgia, Oregon, Penn State. Tier 2, you had Bama, Clemson, Miami, Michigan, Notre Dame, LSU. And obviously, you go on and so forth. So the question begs.
Expectations.
Yeah, playoff expectations. So the question begs, all right, where does North Carolina fall on this list? I know we're all curious about it, where they go, and so on and so forth. And North Carolina fell in tier 11 in the potential sleepers category, which baffled me. Other teams that are in this category: Cincinnati, Colorado, Houston, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, and Virginia. And here's how
that's not a bad group. That's not a bad group to be grouped in there with either.
I'm a bear. I'm a ferocious bear.
Oh yeah, the Bearcats.
Yep, they're in there.
They're
so.
bears.
And what's funny is, you know how this section started on ESPN.com? It said this tier includes Deion Sanders and Bill Belichick. So for media purposes, it should probably be tier 1.
But there's still some big questions surrounding Colorado and UNC. Fair.
And what they said about UNC, they said, this is what they had to say. UNC has completely overhauled its roster from the Matt Brown era, with Belichick dipping heavily into the transfer portal, including nearly 36 portal additions. Numerous catchers who spoke with ESPN said the spring was an incredibly shallow pool of talent. Can that actually translate to wins, or will 2025 be more about building a foundation than reviving the program?
Yes.
This guy.
That's really it. I don't know. We don't know. We hope both.
I mean, I'm gonna be that person and just say, hey, I think it'll do both. I think it'll do both.
That's what I'm hoping for, is like through the wins, it's gonna build that foundation that revives.
Syracuse is my ACC sleeper. I like their head coach. Syracuse is always like, here's the thing, because don't we play Syracuse on Halloween this year?
Yeah. In Syracuse.
Oh, that's already I already feel spooky about that. He knows how I feel about Halloween games. Halloween games in Syracuse never go well, bro. I don't know why. I just don't trust Halloween games in Syracuse. Maybe it's the New Yorker. Maybe it's the bodega.
It was funny. So the Air Force, Army, and Navy got their own tier called the Stars and Stripes.
Ha!
But it's funny. Their tier was also above the next tier called Room for Improvement. So you got Arizona, Northwestern, Oklahoma State, UCF, Wake Forest, and West Virginia.
So that's kind of crazy.
And you got the group of 6 with upside. Tier 16, at least you tried.
Not at least you tried.
Why? They got Mississippi
The
State.
Lost Boy.
The Lost Boy team.
They're fine.
Pac-12. Pac-10.
Okay.
The 2 Pac-10 teams. They're solid. They're fine. Solid. Decent.
Bro,
okay.
Did you see what Tier 19 said?
We could be talking to
Tier 19. The best entertainment you're likely to find on a Tuesday night in mid-November. Jesus Christ. That is an oddly specific tier.
Yeah, Marshall put up a pretty good game.
Not participation.
That's about it,
trophies. The final tier is participation trophies.
That's fair.
That's disrespectful. Your program is last.
That's all right. They lost a lot.
They lost a lot.
They lost a lot.
All right, let's what it starts with.
Because my other program is in tier 17. They're fine. They're decent.
Hey, here's the bad part. My program is right there in that same tier in participation trophies. We're just right under Akron.
Crazy.
Hey, you know what they said for the participation trophies? They're like, you know what they call the guy who finishes last in his class at medical school? They call him doctor. And so it is that the teams in the tier 20 are technically FBS programs, though they are likely to finish with a conference championship as they are to finish medical school themselves. Jesus Christ.
Listen, medical school is hard.
They said finishing medical school is easier than winning in the FBS.
Not even that. They said it's going to be, you finishing medical school is as likely as you winning in the FBS. Not very.
Jesus
Not
Christ, bro. Oh man, that is savagery. That is messed up. And then moving on to the next, because we're gonna play. Yeah, should we do? We'll do the former Tar Heels afterwards.
Yeah.
But before we do Let's Play Over, before we do the Let's Play Over Under, we got a quick word from our sponsor. Here you go, guys.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Where'd my co-host go? Y'all see my co-host? I see a black box. Oh, there you go.
That joint reset my settings.
Y'all play Clemson coming off a bye. Please whooped up. Oh, so I can't stand that crybaby. That's Steve got some personal beef from when Clemson beat Ohio State and then got dog walked by LSU that year. I know what that is.
I ain't gonna lie, calling somebody a crybaby at this particular stage right now ain't really the right thing to do if you're an Ohio State fan. Talking about let's go to our government, let's go to our politician and make stuff illegal.
Hey, he's sitting there like, man, y'all trying to get us to play before 12 o'clock? Play at a 12 o'clock game? We can't even get the tailgate off.
That should be illegal. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
You know what else should be illegal?
If you want us to play at 12 o'clock, it has to be an established rivalry of at least 95 games or 50 years. What?
Nah.
Nah, come play this 12 o'clock game. Don't y'all stop. Steve said, "Don't y'all start tonight."
Don't y'all do this. I finally spoke up for the first time in weeks. Don't y'all start.
So we're gonna play a new game we got up out here called Let's Play Over Under. And this is actually from Inside Carolina Over Under podcast show, which is actually live right now, or they might have just finished. They started at 9 o'clock, just like us. So if you don't want to watch us, you can go watch them. And when I post about this I'll make sure to tag him, or at least y'all tag him. Whatever. Let him know we talked about him here. Probably when I break down this segment specifically, I'll make sure to tag him in like the description or something. But they gave us several little props or whatnot, and I'm gonna ask you. You tell me if you're gonna take the over or the under. You ready, my boy?
Yeah.
Steve, you can answer in the comments too. All right.
Actually, anybody that's in the comments, feel free to answer.
Feel free to answer. All right, you taking the over or the under on Gio Lopez having 21 combined touchdowns this season?
I'm gonna take the under.
You gonna take the under? Okay.
I'm gonna take the under.
All right. All
So
right.
I'm thinking around 18.
You said 18?
Yeah, I'm thinking around 18.
I'm gonna take the over at 23.
Steve also says the under.
Steve also says the under. All right. I'm taking the over at 23 for combined. All right. 375 rushing yards by Gio Lopez. Over or under?
I'm gonna take the over on that one.
You gonna take the over?
Yeah.
What you got?
I think he'll be closer to 4.
So what, like 390?
I'm gonna put it at 4. We'll say 4.
400? All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree. I will say I'm actually gonna go 400 as well. I think that's a solid.
Yep,
solid for me.
Steve also takes the over on that.
Steve taking the over. All right. Over under Davian Gauss 800 rushing yards.
I'm gonna take the under.
What you putting them at?
I'm gonna say about 7. I'm gonna say 725.
725.
I'm gonna say 725.
I'm taking the under because I feel like this is going to be running back by committee.
Same.
And so I'm going to go 650. I'm taking the under.
Steve says over.
Steve says the over. 800.
Steve says over.
All right, Steve.
Now I think he'll probably have at least 1,000 yards total.
Yeah, I can see that.
So here, Caleb
All right.
Hood total yards over
370.
under 370.
I'm taking that under. Well, wait, total yards? Oh no, I'm taking the over.
I'm taking the over.
Taking the over at 450.
Yeah, I would say about the same, about 450.
Jordan Shipp, 5.5 receiving touchdowns, over or under. I'm taking
the over.
5.5. Yeah, I'll take that over because I feel like Shipp's probably had enough. I give him
the over and I'm taking the over at 6.25.
6.25. That's
6.25.
That's crazy. You gonna give this man a quarter of a touchdown?
I mean, when we talking averages, this is what's going. They gave him a half a touchdown.
Yeah. Oh, all right. All right. 0.5 on receiver. Well, calm down. All right.
On 5 different receivers.
Yeah. On receivers with. So how many receivers do you think will have 700 yards or more?
I'm taking the under. I'm gonna say 3.
None. So you're saying none or 3? Because that's 0.5. That would be the over. That's 0.5. Yes, that's what they said.
I'll take the over there.
So you got 3 with 700?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the over, but I'm gonna say it's only gonna be actually, yeah, I'll say 2 of them. 2 of them have it. All right, 8.5 different offensive linemen start a game. Over under.
8.5 different linemen. I'm gonna say under and say 6. Actually, no. I'm gonna say under and say 8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the over and say 9 due to potential injuries. Over under 4 sacks for Price Yates.
I'm gonna say over and give him 6.
I'm
Steve asked over under UNC and TCU combined will have 50 points.
Combined 50?
Combined 50? I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say over 58.
I'm gonna say under at 46. 47. I'm gonna say under at 47.
Yeah, I'm gonna say over about 58. So I feel like it's gonna be around like 32-27, 32-25.
I'm thinking 23-20. I'm thinking a 23-20, 24-21 game. So you said 6 free 8s.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll pull off 6.
Yeah. I give him 7. Over under, North Carolina has 9 interceptions this year.
I'm gonna say Steve says under. I was thinking under about 7.
You think 7?
I'm thinking 7.
I'm gonna give them the over right at 9. Right at 9. Like they just make it. All right.
5.5 one-score games this season over.
Oh, I'm taking that over. I'm taking that over easily. I'm taking that over. I'm going with 8.
I'm going with 7.
I'm going with 8. 34.5 sacks made. Woo.
I'm gonna say under.
I'll be
at
like
29.
I'm going under at 24. And then sacks allowed. I'm actually gonna take the under on this too. I'm taking 27.
I'm gonna say the under at 31.
31. All right.
20% of offensive snaps from under center.
I feel like we ain't even gonna be able to count that one later down the line, but
I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna say under at 17%.
I'm gonna say over at 25 because it's still gonna be a pro style. 2.5 wins in November. Who do we play in November?
No diggity. Let's see here. In November, we play Stanford, Wake Forest, Duke, and North Carolina State.
I'm taking the over. Taking the over with 3.
I was going to take the over with 3 now that I knew who we had.
I'm taking that over with 3 for sure.
Let's see here. Over or under 28.5 points per game. I'm going to say under at 21 points per game.
You're saying 21?
Yeah, because I think there's going to be a couple of games where we just score lower. Clemson game is probably one of them.
I'm going to go with the over and go at 32, considering we were at 30.9 last year.
Fair.
I'm going with 32. You said 21,
Did
right?
you change it to 24?
24? All right. Oh, Lord. Get back. All right.
Then you got over under 27.5 points allowed per game.
I'm taking that under. I'm going 25.
I'm going to take the over, but actually I'm going to take the under at 27.
27 flat. Got you. And then over under Bill Belichick is there for 2.5 seasons. I give him 3.
I'm gonna take that over. I'm giving 4.
Oh, you give him 4? All right.
I think he's gonna be there for more than half of his contract.
Oh. All right. So we now have this. I will save this somewhere, probably at the end of the thing, and we'll revisit this at the end of the year.
Yep, we'll check in on it because we also got to do. We got to do our rankings and stuff too.
Oh yeah, we do that. So
we got to do the. We got to re-rank ACC.
Yeah,
but like I said, we'll do that. We'll do that mid-season, then we'll do that again at the end.
Right. But yeah,
so let's see. So there's going to be some thrilling changes coming to game day. So they just announced this new thing called Chapel Thrill Day. is what they call it, for game day, for home game experiences, which is going to include a Chapel Thrill concert series where Chase Rice is supposed to kick off the first concert prior to the TCU game. For the season opener, they're bringing back the Old Well Walk, which basically means that the team buses will stop at the Old Well, and then the team will walk through the celebration area on the way to the stadium.
Nice.
The rest of the games will start. They'll walk in they'll go from the bell tower. They also have the Modelo Kickoff Club, where you can go and buy your drinks and your alcohols and stuff. And then they also have the Coca-Cola Fan Zone, where they'll have all the entertainment and toys and like games and stuff that families and stuff can play. So, interesting stuff.
More things to raise the cost.
I mean, the costs are raised.
Expensive times, bro. Expensive times.
Now, speaking of, we had some previous Tar Heels this week one preseason that did pretty good. Tej, I think Amari Hampton did pretty well too. I think. Or did he play? Did he play? Yeah, I think he played a little bit.
He got a couple carries. He didn't do much. He
didn't do much.
I think he only had like 3 carries for like 6 yards or something like that. He didn't do much. But Sam Howell, our boy Sam Howell did good. Hey, so
Sam showed out.
Sam showed out for y'all who didn't know against Houston. Our man went 11 of 13 for 105 passing yards, 1 rushing touchdown. And that touchdown actually came on a drive he engineered. It was a 14-play, 94-yard drive. And I want y'all to see how he scored.
They had Amari in there for 2 rush. He had 2 rush attempts for 9 yards.
Okay, so I was close. I said 3 for 6. I knew it was something like that.
So he was a low count.
But I want y'all
did better than Genty did.
Yeah. I want y'all to see this.
Negative yards.
Oof. So Sam Howell did what Sam does, bro. He said he ain't waste no time. Hold up. Not trying to get copyright. Got right to the line real quick. Look what he does, bro. He says bumper tush push. He don't need it.
I can get them. I can do it myself.
I can do it myself. I don't need a tush push. This is how you do it, Jalen. This is how you do it, Jalen. I don't need the
assistance, is what he said.
I was like, hey, shout outs to him, bro. And then not only that, we had Willie Lampkins, offensive lineman. Our boy was destroying Dallas defenders this past weekend. And
they're playing him at center.
They played him. Yeah, they had 28 snaps at center, 4 left guard. He ended up with the highest grade in the game for a lineman at 94.1 per Football Focus, and he had 4 pancakes on him, bro.
Yeah, now looking at these stats, like these clips, that man was dry.
Oh, bro, listen, we got to show the people. We got to show the people because I need y'all to see this. Look at this. Willie was putting in this work.
It's one of those times like I was unfamiliar with your game.
Get him out of here.
I didn't even expect how far he shuffled from there.
With no gloves, bro. He's doing this with no gloves. I'm sorry. Any lineman or receiver that just be out here no gloves, or a DB with no gloves,
he's got the tape fingers.
Still,
that's you already know he's a bad man.
That's a bad man, bro. Like, look at it. Shit, like, get out of here. Get out of here. Drive. He said, all right.
That first snap to get from a snap and shuffle laterally.
The way he did was great.
6 yards. He shuffled like almost 6 yards. Look at this.
Yeah, and then he met you at the second level. That's the even better part.
He met you at second level.
He met you at second level. Then watch.
And stay
square, keeps you from being able to make this reach, and then just finishes you off on the ground. So you ain't even getting there.
And what's even more impressive about it, to be 5'11".
Absolutely.
Like that's in the NFL, it's crazy.
Hey, shout out him and he's 1 inch taller than Bryce Young. He's 1 inch taller than Bryce Young. And you know that's kind of crazy considering they already give Bryce Young flack. So you have a 5'11". I can only imagine what he gets as a 5'11" lineman.
It's a little more acceptable for an interior lineman like that, but it's still like to be 5'11", 290 to move as smoothly as that
and engage the way he does. I love it.
Major props.
Love it, man.
Solid base, all of that. You love to see it.
And then also want to talk about this, man. So some of our Lady Tar Heels led Team USA to some more gold at the World Games because the UNC women's lacrosse team left a mark at the World Games this last weekend over in China. So Team USA, hey, listen, I love that soundbite. I love it. I love that soundbite.
Oh, buddy.
So Team USA won gold, and they were led by Tar Heels Chloe Humphrey, Ali Mastroianni, Marie McCool, and Taylor Moreno, and also other Lady Tar Heel Brooklyn Walker Welch led Canada to face off against them in the final. So you had five Lady Tar Heels kind of heading up the final matchup. McCool ended up being named tournament MVP as she had 20 goals and 32 points.
That's a crazy stat.
Like 20 goals and adding up to 32 points. And from what I'm guessing with lacrosse, I don't know the full scoring system, but I guess your goals and your assists is what accumulate your total points. So you have your own goals, and then you have the assists that lead to goals. So you get accounted for those too. McCool, it is. McCool and Walker Welsh were both named to the All-World Tournament team, an All-World team. Humphrey also chimed in. She had 13 goals and 8 assists for 21 points. Mastroianni, she had 7 goals and 7 assists while dealing with an injury the whole time. So the fact that she was able to still be this productive was great. And then Moreno, she was playing goal, had 29 saves and an incredible 54.7 save percentage, which apparently was outstanding for her. So shout out to the ladies holding it down and winning more gold in the World Games for lacrosse, putting on for the lacrosse program, man. Got to give y'all a hand and big praise for that. And then, not only that, bro, not only are we great athletes, we in space now too, bro. We are in space. So for those of you who have not heard, I thought this was a really cool story. This is why I added it in here, and I just wanted to add it on. So NASA astronaut and UNC grad Zena Cardman, who's from Wilmington, North Carolina, is now on a mission at the International Space Station that she took off last week. She is serving as the mission's commander at the age of 37 of a crew of over 11 members, and they'll be on board the space station for the last 6 months. She was actually selected for the program, the astronaut program, back in 2017. And I know they talk about being an astronaut, you go through years of training just to get like
it's
strenuous. Like one,
to get
two,
1 or 2
maybe
tours.
3 tours going up to the space station, bro.
Yeah. So listen here. She goes on to saying, I'm not sure that view is ever going to get old. When I first looked out the cupola window, it was kind of twilight. So we had these really long shadows. We had these 3D textures of the clouds, and you're going over the ground so quickly. It takes us only 90 minutes to get all the way around the Earth. It's also been amazing to see how the brain just adjusts to this kind of environment. It's totally 3D. You can be upside down in different orientations, and your brain just reorients.
And I think that's just really cool.
That's cool stuff.
And I respect anybody who is an astronaut. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Y'all think going to space isn't cool? Like, being an astronaut isn't cool? Like, man, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping, dog. That's one of the coolest jobs to probably get to do. To say, because it's one thing to say I've been to another country, right? Like, you've been to another country. I've lived in other countries. Like, we've done that. And that's always an awesome thing to say.
But
to be one of the few, have you been to space though? Like with a TV on the outside? With a TV on the outside? Like, bro, to say I had the opportunity to go to space and see Earth from outer space. It's one thing. I'd be mesmerized looking at the horizon and Earth when I'm in a plane, especially when I'm over the clouds.
Right.
And just looking out and just seeing the sun and everything. I'm like, bro, this looks amazing. To see something like that from space.
To be able to see the whole Earth at once. I can only imagine.
From space, I think is just a phenomenal thing to experience, to really be able to say I experienced zero gravity and was floating around, like not a simulation, not something like I just partook in a game. No, I legitimately got to experience that. Oh,
and I think that like from what I know of, each tour is only really a couple of months at a time.
It's only a couple months at a time, but it's like you don't get those all the time.
No, because you have to readjust. There's a bad period.
Let's see. Readjust and do that.
We got some Tar Heel birthdays. Shout out to Charleston French, whose birthday was on the 4th. Shout out Ty Adams on the 4th. Jaden Patterson on the 4th. Now this week we got Evan Bennett on the 13th. That's it tomorrow. Then you got Caleb Hood on the 15th and Jalen Thompson on the 15th.
Woo!
You also have
Leroy Jackson.
He's on Sunday.
He's
on the 17th.
I had to say it like that, Leroy. I know you've gotten that at least once. I know you've gotten that at least once.
Hey, Leroy. What? Hey, Leroy. Your mama, she calling you, man.
All right, man. And what is it? Tar Heel takeaway of the week?
Tar Heel takeaway of the week.
Is it me this week starting first? All right. All right, man.
Hey, Leroy. What? The creature from the Black Lagoon is your father.
Oh, man. All right. Bro, so my Tar Heel takeaway for the week. This goes out to all my college freshmen. Because college is right around the corner. I'm talking specifically to you, man. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Go to the parties, but don't let it cost you like your grades or anything like that. Have a blast. Guess what? About 50% of the people you start college with in your freshman dorm, you ain't going to graduate with. And speaking, and also experience everything. Experience everything. If this is the time in life where you can reinvent yourself. None of that stuff in high school means anything anymore. If you want to join that weird club that your mom and dad didn't let you join in high school, you can do it now. If you want to sit there and take a chance to talk to that girl or that guy that you think they would never notice you, you could do it right now. If you want to sit there and just chill in your pajamas for most of the day, you can do that. But be open, be willing to try stuff, be nice and respectful to people, bro. Find your group and just do your thing. And also, the freshman 15 can be a real thing. Be careful about that. I've also had the freshman -5 to where I was so stressed out, I lost weight. That was crazy. And 2, don't bring sand to the beach if you're picking up what I'm putting down. That's all I got to say.
All right, so you know what? Since we're gonna keep it on, freshman week coming up. All right, I will specifically shout this out to the freshmen over at South Carolina State University.
Oh God!
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now: don't lose your visitation before the school year start. Don't be that group. Don't do that. We had 3 years, we had almost 2 to 3 years worth of freshmen when I was out there that lost their visitation before the school year even started. The seniors the upperclassmen hadn't even moved on campus yet. When I tell you, the moment you get an announcement to the whole school that you can't even walk through the lobby with somebody of the opposite gender, you have a problem. Be smart. If you're going to sneak somebody in, make sure they know to shut up on the way out. If some of y'all in the one particular building, don't have them walking up all 14 flights of stairs. Y'all know better. Because you're going to be sitting there talking out loud by the time you get to the 5th flight. You know, we all understand. Other piece of advice, if you just do the work, you'll make it through the class. Just do the work, study a little bit, make the time for it. I promise you, if you make the little bit of time to get that studying in and get that classwork done, you'll have a lot more time to not have to do any of it. So just be efficient with your time and make smart decisions, because it's a new stage in your life. You're free now, sort of. But just know, if you want to keep that freedom, act right. Because your parents will be called up there to come get you if you don't. And the last thing you want is for your parents to pick you up in the middle of a school day while everybody walking around that know you, as they watch you pack your stuff up, put it in a car, and leave. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get picked up mid-semester. You want to get picked up at the end of the school year because you're going home for the summer and you'll see them when you get back. That's what you want to do. So do right. Act like you got some home training.
Man. Listen, Tiger. The things I would tell 18-year-old Myron, bruh. Don't. If you go to Charleston Southern, that $250 ain't worth it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. There is only one thing I would tell college me, because there was only one thing that happened that I regretted, and that was not leaving that party 2 minutes earlier. That was it. The moment I was like, yep, let me go, I didn't need to make another drink before I left. Should have just left. That was it. And no, there will not be a story time.
Oh no, I wouldn't think about that.
If he wants a story, I'll tell him. I ain't telling y'all. Y'all ain't got to. Y'all need to know that.
I'll say one thing I would tell. The one thing I would tell college Myron, if I would tell college me, you know what, dog? Just hey, they're gonna be mad at you regardless. So you might as well go have fun while you're doing it. Even if you ain't do nothing. Hey, you might as well make it worth the fight. Make it worth the fight, dog.
That's true. We've been going on long enough. Y'all been sitting here listening to us long enough. But remember, football's back, y'all.
Yeah!
Football's back, y'all. And here soon, real soon, we're gonna be able to break down games. And I'm excited about that. I'm so happy.
Film session about to be
I'm so ready.
lit.
I'm so ready for
lit. As long as we don't get copyrighted.
Did that part.
But guys, y'all already know this has been another episode of the North Carolina Tar Heel Live. Join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Y'all know we are here on YouTube. We'll be back on Twitter. We're available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all the good jazz and everything in between. And that's how we get down here for your listening pleasure. This has been my co-host, RiceBox26. Y'all know to follow him on all the platforms except Twitter. He don't be on there like that. You can follow him on there if you want. He don't even message. He don't even message me like that. Then y'all can follow me, Tornado McCray. That is all my Twitters. That is all my IGs. That's my YouTubes and everything like that. But with all that being said, y'all, peace. Much love to you. Later days. We out of here. And I got to press the button.
Press the button.
No.
Oop.